call me a terrorist. I consider myself a teacher.
First of all, I love the opening of the film, the flashback to Byrne. Between this and Prometheus, you've gotten fairly comfortable with some extreme looks recently.
Yes, that's right. I like to spend a lot of time in the makeup chair. Clearly. I was a girl in a past life, I think.
There's a lot of layers to these characters. None of them are necessarily who they appear at the beginning of the film. Is that part of what's fun about playing a role like this, is being able to play those changes and the reveals and the...
Of course, absolutely. I mean, I think the trajectory of any character is exciting, and that's why you get to play the characters you play. But to have characters that are shifting and changing and sort of not necessarily knowing which direction they're going in, because I think in life that occurs. We all try to identify ourselves in a particular kind of way, and 10 years later you're actually having a different perspective than you used to. So, I think it's exciting if you can portray that on screen.
Giving it to Robert Downey Jr. in a scene, like really being able to play that ping pong with him, has got to be, I think, fun or appealing. Is that part of also the
Absolutely,
joy
it
of that
was one
process?
of the most significant reasons why I wanted to do it, if not the most significant. I mean, absolutely. I mean, it was such a sort of joy to realise that I was being asked to play someone who's arguably Tony Stark's intellectual equal, and to know that there would be that battle of the wits is, really, really exciting. I mean, that's why you want to work with someone like Robert Downey Jr., because that's what he brings, and that's what he brings out in the people that he works with. And that's, that was thrilling for me.
You get into some fairly physical, big stuff towards the end of the film. That sort of thing, is it a different skill set that you're called on to bring to the set on a day like that than when you have, say, the dialogue scene with Robert or something like that?
Well, it is. I mean, I've done physical stuff before, so it doesn't feel like it's too outside of what I'm naturally capable of. I mean, but yes, it is different. I mean, you want to sort of portray somebody who is, and particularly, in this instance where you're playing a character who has been taking this substance called extremis, so their movements and their reactions are faster than, say, a normal person, etc. So, you need to be able to portray that stuff to a level that, for our audience seems sort of a little bit out of this world. I mean, you're helped by the visual effects team as well, thankfully. But it was important to get that stuff right. We did a lot of choreography and, the sort of, the orchestrating of those fight sequences, etc.
It's funny because this is not anything Shane's ever done as a filmmaker before, but boy, does he feel like he's natural at it. Like, the action works well, the dialogue, he incorporates it all in a way that doesn't feel like any one part of it was a struggle or was a new necessarily thing for him. What was he like on set? Because he's such a whirlwind of a head. Like...
Yeah, well, he is.
Yeah, he's a whirlwind of a director, too. But there's a sort of energy and a vitality which somehow manages to get harnessed and be incredibly creative. And he's idiosyncratic. He's completely. There's no one else like him, and his style and his tone lend themselves very well to these films, but also make something that's distinctively his, which I think is quite an achievement.
For breaking entertainment news and more, follow @HitFix on Twitter or visit hitfix.com.